Hey, Nola. Good morning. There's only 8 of us in here right now, so I'm gonna wait to put up our poll. Whenever I put it up, it is only available to whoever's in the class when I start it. So I'm gonna give a minute or two for some more friends to join us. But if you would like to tell me in the room chat what your favorite fall activity is, or if you don't like any of these fall activities, you can tell me what you do like to do in the room chat. That would be really great. Alrighty, well, hi Mare, how are you? I am doing well. I am a little bit stuffy because the weather has finally cooled off, so it feels amazing in Galveston. It's not like 100 degrees anymore, but it has made me have a stuffy nose. So I apologize for my throat being a little scratchy today. Oh, Micah. Okay, so I'll go ahead and put up the poll while I talk about these real quick. A pumpkin patch is it's kind of like a little farm that you go to, and they normally have like a big field of pumpkins. Um, and they have like a corn maze. Sometimes they have like hay rides, they have games. The one in by my house has like a big sunflower field where you can go and pick fresh flowers. It's really fun. It's kind of like a little farm. A haunted house. You don't know what a haunted house is? Well, let me tell you. I don't know much about them because I have never been to a haunted house. And as long as it is up to me, um, I will never go to a haunted house. I do not like scary things at all whatsoever. So it is a big no for me. But some people really love being scared. So you basically pay money to go to this event and you walk through it's not necessarily like an actual house. Sometimes it's like trailers or I don't know, a building that is scary and people jump out at you and I don't really know why people like it, to be honest, but they do. So I don't know. And then a bonfire is like where you, yeah, no thanks for me either. A bonfire is like where you put a bunch of sticks and wood and you set it on fire. And like some people cook, we like to cook hot dogs over it, or like bratwurst, or some people do steak. They get real fancy. And then you can roast marshmallows over it and make a s'mores. It's so good. So, most of you really love scary movies. Y'all are crazy. I know there's like a new scary movie coming out. The reason I even know about it is because I watch a lot of baseball and I keep seeing this creepy person just smiling behind home plate with this shirt on that says smile. It's very creepy. So, anyways. Yeah, that's the movie. I think it looks really creepy. It's not gonna happen for me, but if you guys like scary movies, then I will not stand in your way and I won't even compete with you. You can watch all of them that you want. Alrighty, so let's get started for today. This is a quick review. It's also a little bit of a challenge problem. I'm going to write out our slope-intercept form of a line. Maybe. Y equals m times x plus b, where m is our slope and b is our y-intercept. So how would we write the equation of a line that has a y-intercept of 0 and a slope of -2? Anybody have any ideas for that? You can put it in the room chat. Good. Perfect. Good job. That's exactly right. So we know that our slope, m, is -2. And our y-intercept, we said, was 0. So when we plug this in, we would get negative, 2 times x plus 0. Or, as you will see it on your test or quizzes or the star, just -2 times x. Very good. Alrighty, so today, what's the plan? Well, we just reviewed some writing equations. We are going to spend the day working on converting from standard form to slope-intercept form, and then we're going to review graphing equations as well. So today, the biggest thing is in the 3.04 homework, I noticed, and some of you probably noticed, you probably got like a 1, or if you got a 1 or a 2, it's probably because you graphed the line for me or you wrote out the equation of the line in slope-intercept form, but you didn't show your work. So I'm going to give you some time today. If you haven't done 3.04, or if you did it and didn't get a 5 out of 5 on it, you're going to go back and log into ClassKick, and we're going to fix that. Okay, so that's how you'll know if you've mastered today's content. Alrighty, so can someone tell me, can we determine the slope of this line as it stands right now? What do you think? Yes, and then tell me what it is, or we don't know the slope yet, and why do we not? Okay, what do you think? Okay, exactly, Nola. So as it is right now with 2x minus 4y equals 8, just by looking at it, we cannot use the number in front of x as our slope because it is not solved for y. Okay, so in order to determine the slope of a line, I'm going to type this out. In order to determine the slope of a line, we have to have y by itself. So it has to be in slope-intercept form for us to determine the slope of a line. This is currently in standard form because y is not by itself. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and determine the slope then. So we're going to go ahead and solve for y. What I'm going to do first is cover up y. Okay, so I'm going to leave y alone because that's what I'm solving for. So what do I have left? I have this positive 2x. To get rid of a positive 2x, I am going to subtract 2x from both sides. So when I do that, I'm left with negative 4 times y equals, I'm going to go ahead and put the negative 2x at the front because I like to have my slope first. So I want my number in the x to come first, and then I'll leave my constant or my y-intercept at the end. All right, so again, I'm still solving for y. This is negative 4 times y. To undo multiplication, I'm now going to divide everything by negative 4. I like to do it separately because most times you will be able to simplify one, if not both, of your terms. Okay, so I like to do it separately so I know I can simplify one or both. All right, so my final answer would be y equals, alrighty, so on this part, I have a negative divided by a negative, so that's now going to become a positive. 2 divided by 4 is positive 1/2. So I get positive 1/2 x. And then I have 8 divided by negative 4, and that would be negative 2. All right, now that I have this solved and y is by itself, can y'all tell me in the room chat, what is my slope? Now I can answer the question. So what would my slope be? Yep, remember it's just the number in front of x. So just include the number in front of x. But you are right, it is the number that has the x with it. Very good. Good, it is 1/2, exactly. That is right. So it's 1/2. I would go up 1 and to the right 2 times. Alrighty, now we're going to move on. So that's what we're going to be working on today, is just taking things, equations of lines, that are in standard form and converting them to y-intercept form. Okay, so we're going to go from standard form to slope-intercept form, or y-intercept. Standard form, ax plus by equals c. Notice down here where we had slope-intercept form and the number in front of x was represented by an m, and this constant on the right is represented by a b, that's our y-intercept. They don't use m and b in standard form because remember we have to move our x over, okay, and then divide by something. So our c is also going to change. Okay, so that's why we cannot just look at something in standard form and know what the slope is. We have to solve for y. So I'm going to do this one on the left with you. This is just going to require one step to solving for y. So I've got 2 times x plus y equals negative 4. Again, I'm solving for y, so I'm going to leave that alone. I have this positive 2x that I need to move to the other side. A lot of what I saw y'all doing on your 3.04 homework, if you showed your work, is you were just taking that 2x and moving it, okay? But if we're going to move something from one side of the equal sign to the other, we have to do the opposite, okay? So we have to subtract 2x. So that way this one goes away. Okay, we cannot just put 2x on the other side and call it good. So now I would get y equals maybe negative 4 minus 2x. And I always like to have my slope first. So I'm going to switch the order. So negative 2x minus 4. Okay, any questions about any of the steps I did on the left problem? Okay, do I have anybody that would like to try and work out this problem on the right? Does anyone want to do it on the board? We're all going to try it, but does anyone want to do it on the board? Awesome, Amari, thank you. Let's see. All right, you have whiteboard tools, so go right ahead. Everyone else, you're going to be doing this on your own. So you should also still be working. And if you need help or get stuck, just check up on the board. Okay, so hold on, pause for just a second. Remember, you're close. Remember, we want to solve for y. So we're actually going to leave y alone. So let's go ahead and move that positive x first. That way we can keep y on the left side. It's 12. I think I can, yes. There you go. Good. So the first thing we're going to do is subtract x. We had a positive x. So we're going to go ahead and subtract that positive x to the other side. Very good. And we are left with 4y equals negative x plus 12. Perfect. Now that's 4 times y. Very good. So we're going to divide everything by 4. Perfect. Good job. Alrighty, good. So don't forget, when we divide by 4 here, this negative x divided by 4, this is like a 1. Okay, so when we do this, we are getting negative 1/4. We still have to divide by 4. It's still 1 divided by 4. So negative 1/4 x plus 3. Perfect. Good job. Thank you so much. Good job. Anyone else have questions about this one? No? Okay, let's go ahead and try 2 more then. Does anyone want to volunteer to do either of these that are on the board? Okay, awesome. Marley, I'm going to give you this one on the left. There you go. You can go ahead and get started. Anybody else want to do the one on the right? All right. Thank you, Amari. Let me give you whiteboard tools again. I think. Can't remember. There you go. Okay. Maya, what do you mean you forgot how to do slope? Like the slope formula, you mean? Or what do you mean you forgot how to do slope? How to solve it? Like, what do you mean? Like how to solve it if you're given 2 points? Or like what we're doing right now? You mean how to go to slope-intercept form? Okay, so can you tell me where it is that you're getting confused and I can help you? So the first thing we're trying to do is solve for y. Okay, so I'm telling you the steps here. The first thing we're going to do is solve for y. So if you want to write that down. Okay, we're going to solve for y. So on the first one on the left here, I have x plus 2y equals 8. Okay, since I'm solving for y, I'm going to just leave y alone. I'm going to pretend like it's not even there. Okay? So what do I have left? I have a positive 1x. In order for me to get rid of the positive 1x, I need to move it to the other side. So that means I'm going to do the opposite. So that's a positive 1x. That means to get rid of this, to make it go to 0 on the left, I'm going to subtract 1x because x minus x is now 0. So I subtracted x from both sides. Then on the left, I get y, or 2y, equals negative x plus 8. So now what I'm going to do, this is where I am, 2 times y. I am going to do the opposite. What is the opposite of multiplying by 2? This says 2 times y. The opposite of multiplying by 2 is going to be to divide by 2. So I have to divide everything by 2. Okay, so negative 1x divided by 2 and 8 divided by 2. That's what this step is right here with all these 2's. We're dividing everything by 2. Okay, so now I simplify. So y equals, this was a negative 1, negative 1x, so negative 1/2 x plus 4. And that's it. Great job. Okay, good. Let's talk through this one on the right. So we have x minus 2y equals negative 4. So again, we're solving for x. So the first thing, we're solving for y. So the first thing we want to do is move x. It is a positive x on the left. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. When I do that, I'm left with negative 2 times y equals negative x minus 4. Again, this is negative 2 times y. So to undo multiplication, I'm going to divide everything by negative 2. Don't forget that negative that's there. Okay, we have to solve for y, and when we solve for y has to be positive and by itself. So it just has to be one y or just y. We cannot have negative y. Those are not quite the same. All right, so I'm going to divide everything by -2. When I do that, this was a negative x divided by -2. A negative divided by a negative is now a positive. So I'm going to get 1/2 x here. Then I had -4 divided by -2. -4 divided by -2. That becomes a positive as well. A negative divided by a negative becomes a positive. So it's y equals 1/2 x plus 2. Okay, I'm going to go through 2 more problems. We're going to work them together. What I want you to do is work them with me. We're going to just do the one on the left first. So what I want you to do is you're going to work it and you're going to send it to me in the questions and answers chat. Okay, so you're working it on your own. I'm going to do one step at a time, but I want you to try to beat me to the answer. All right, so we've got -6 minus 2y equals -x. I'm going to leave y alone. That's what I'm solving for. So I need to figure out how to get rid of this -6. So that means I'm going to add 6 to both sides. When I simplify, I'm left with -2 times y equals -x plus 6. So now, almost, Marley, don't forget to divide everything by -2. So now I am going to divide everything by 2. Because it was -2 times y, so I'm going to divide everything by -2. When I do this, y'all be careful. My slope, this was a -1 divided by a -2, so it now becomes positive. Positive 6 divided by -2 is -3. Forgot my x. There we go. So it should be positive 1/2 x minus 3. Okay, so y'all be careful with those negatives, okay? All right, now I want to try another one with you. Amare and Marley were the only ones that messaged me their answer, so I need y'all to work this with me. The first thing, this one's a little different. This is why I want to do it with you. But the first thing we're going to do here is take this 1/3 and distribute it to this x and to the -6. We still are solving for y, and we have to still follow order of operations. Okay, so when I do that, I get y minus 2 equals 1/3 times x, 1/3 times -6. So that would be 1/3 times -6/1. Remember, when you multiply fractions, you just multiply straight across the top. So 1 times -6 is -6. 3 times 1 is 3. -6 divided by 3 is -2. I'm going to pause there because I want you to finish this problem, and you're going to send me your answer in the questions and answers box. Nola, perfect. Good job. Anybody else have it yet? What's my next step? I'm going to open up the room chat. What's my next step here? Remember, I'm still solving for y. So I have y minus 2. Good, Nevaeh, perfect. Good job. Anybody else? Sean, you got it yet? Valerie, Jasmine, Rylan, anybody? Okay, so Marley, will you tell me what do you think is the next step here? Not quite. So let's look at what's happening on the left side. Good, Amari. Good job. What's happening on the right side is we have y minus 2. Good, Amari. That's right. So, Marley, how would I undo subtracting 2? Exactly. That's right. Yeah, you're welcome. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do from here is add 2 to both sides. Something kind of funny happens when I do this because on the right, negative 2 plus 2 gives me 0. So my final answer is y equals 1/3 x. All right, so what I want to do now is talk about, sure, Marley, what's up? Okay, so what we're doing when we solve equations, let me go back and show you. When we solve equations, we are adding, when we add or subtract, we are doing it to the entire side. Okay, so I'm adding 2 to the left side and the right side. I cannot add 2 to 1/3 x because 2 doesn't have an x. So in order for me to add or subtract variables, they either have to have no variable or they both have to have the same variable. This would be like if I wrote it, let me just do it on this page. It's the same thing if I have y minus 2 equals x plus 1. Me adding 2 to both sides is the same thing as me just putting it on the end. Okay. So I just get x plus 1 plus 2. Since these both do not have a variable, I can combine them. So I am adding it to everything, but when I combine subtraction and addition, I can only combine terms that are alike. So they either both have to have the same variable or they have to have no variable at all. Good. Alrighty, so we've got 2 more problems I want to practice today. So we're going to do the same exact thing that we were doing. At the end, we are going to now graph. So another thing I want y'all to pay close attention to when you're graphing in your homework, so 3.03 or 3.04, a lot of you just had a line drawn through the y-intercept. I need you to graph at least 2 points. And what I mean by that is, I did not mean to do that. Hang on. What I mean by that is, if this is going to be your y-intercept at -3, that's great. But then you can't just put a random line. Okay? We have to say, okay, now I'm going to use my slope and count, and I'm going to very clearly put another line somewhere else, another point. Then I'll draw my line. Okay, so I just want to go over that with you. If you did not get a high score on your homework, it's probably because you did not put 2 distinct points. All right, so the first thing we're going to do here, we're going to solve for y. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 4x from both sides. I would get -2 times y equals -4 times x plus 20. Now I'm going to divide by 2. I'm sorry, -2. So I would get y equals, we have -4 divided by -2. That becomes +2. So 2x. Then we have +20 divided by -2. So that's -10. All right, so -10 is my y-intercept. That's the very first thing I'm going to graph. The y-intercept goes up and down. So I'm going to come down, start at this is the origin. Okay, I'm going to count down to 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to put a point. That's my y-intercept. Now I'm going to use my slope, which is 2, to plot another point. Okay, 2 is the same thing as 2 over 1. So the top number, if it's positive, you're moving up. If it's negative, you're moving down. The bottom number is always going to go to the right. All right, so I'm going to go up 1, 2, and to the right 1. This is where I will put another point. If you have at least 2 points, then you can draw your line through, and that is fine. All right, let's do one last one together. We're not going to worry about the x and the y-intercept right now. Let's go ahead and just solve for y. I have -x plus 2y equals 8, so I'm going to add x to both sides. 2 times y equals x plus 8. I'm going to divide everything by 2. So I get y equals 1/2 x plus 4. 4 is my y-intercept. 1/2 is my slope. So I plot my y-intercept at 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put that point first. And I'm going to use my slope now to plot the next point. This means 1/2 means up 1 because it's a +1 on the top, and the bottom is going to go to the right. So I'm going to go up 1 and to the right 2. Put another point. And then my line would go through those 2 points. Alrighty, so Sean, what I want you guys to do now is go log in to ClassKick and go to 3.04. Sure, Marley, I can help you if you tell me which slide it was on. Okay, so let's see. Rami, Ketsia, Christian, Joseph, Paulina, Riley, Allie, Amare, Micah, Tristan, Mauricio, Megan, Gio, Sarah, Nevaeh, Alina, Aman, Aiden, Sophia, Alejandra, Austin, Sean, Angel, Michael, Rylan, Gabrielle, Owen, Nalani, Noxia, Michael, Maurice, Alani, Maya, Megan, Noah, Juan, Adler, Logan, Ty, Aubrey, Elena, Aliza Leek, Sanaya, Logan, and Nathan. Y'all all need to go in and complete or update your 3.04 homework. And it's exactly what we just did. Okay, so Nola, Valerie, Kiera, Jasmine, and Adelina. It looks like y'all are the only ones that got a 5 out of 5. So right now we're doing 3.04. So everyone else should be logged into 3.04. That's okay, Nola. You are good to go. You had yours correct. So Nola, you're good to go. And Valerie Ramirez, you are good to go. I don't know if there's anybody else that's still in here. Yes, we're doing 3.04 in Class Kick, your homework. Thanks, Nola. You too. Okay, Marley. Yes, I can help you with number 4 in the homework. Yeah, we've got a couple minutes right now, so I want y'all to go log in right now so you can see exactly what it looks like. Okay, Marley, I'm trying to get to slide 4. Give me just a second. That way I can see exactly the one you're looking at. And I'm going to go to your slide 4. Okay, so we'll work on that same slide together.